Coming up on today's and this week's CODE Bet Daily AFL Weekly Show. Checks out. We're talking all 9 games in round 8 of the AFL. We're talking best bets, game picks, player props, and we've brought in Leo.
We have.
Just to do a fantasy pick. Leo, what's your favourite one?
Chera to absolutely dominate on Friday night.
I like it. Stats guy, what's your favourite pick this week?
Richmond to tear up West Coast to have no players this week.
Nice one. Well, you better listen to the rest of the show because there's a lot more gold in there. I'll tell you that much. It is CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL. You better listen to it right now. Footy. Welcome to CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show. That's right, the CODE Bet Daily Weekly AFL Show.
Not a tongue tie at all.
What round is this, gentlemen?
8. Yeah.
Round 8 of the AFL. That's right. Can you believe that footy's back?
It's back again. The 8th time.
It's like Slim Shady. He's back again, I'll tell you that much. I'm your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website. You might know its name. It's called CODE Bet. You can find it at codebet.com.au.
Absolutely.
That's where this podcast is, where the video is, where a bunch of things are, including our betting analyses, odds comparisons, all the good stuff, including a very, very detailed AFL breakdown of every single game each round, which is what we do in this show as well.
Yes.
Amazing. Anyway, I'm joined with a very special guest over there, but of course, one of the pontiffs of punting, Stats Guy, he's here.
I'm here. Sick of talking about...
You're not special, shush.
No.
There's Leo.
Yeah,
He's the
again.
special guest. I
Yeah,
love
get around
this.
Leo. Get around Leo.
Leo, the social media guy. He's not quite Stats Guy, but he's social media guy.
It's
Leo.
better. He's better.
How are we doing, guys?
Very good. Very good.
I mean, I'm great. How are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm fantastic.
Yeah.
I literally necked like half a liter of like coffee like I don't know,
Yeah, you're going to be
20
buzzing.
minutes ago. I might just fly through the roof at this point. But this is CODE Footy's back daily.
Every week it's back.
This is a weird one because we don't have Alex this week, but we're going to cover off every single game in the round, obviously.
Yep.
We'll talk about some best bets, some player props, game picks, etc., as we always do. But because we've got Leo here, we're going to throw in one AFL fantasy bet
Fantasy expert.
per game as well.
I wouldn't say that.
He's a gun fantasy player.
Load up on his fantasy.
He's dominating the office competition.
It's super coach.
That's Supercoach. This is fantasy. Many would say the fantasy one is the coward's way out, but we're not going to say that, would we?
No, we'll get a sponsorship from them at some point.
I like it. So last week's results, Stats Guy and I both picked 6 correct. Alex, because he's a stinker, got 5.
Yes.
Not good.
And we don't have Leo's written down, but let's just say he got 9.
Classic.
I think I got 6.
6?
Classic.
Okay. It was a hard week with Suns and...
So as a
the
running
other teams.
tally, do we know what we're at?
It will come up on the screen, but yeah, we do. It's somewhere here. I think I'm still winning, just.
Yeah, I'm having an absolute shocking year when it comes to the tipping because I think in my articles, I am tending to pick underdogs pretty well when it comes to the line.
You're good at the line.
And we're covering a fair amount of underdogs, I think, this year in the AFL.
Absolutely.
But in terms of actually just like the team that wins, I'm not nailing that quite as much on the show. All right, Friday, Brisbane, Carlton.
Huge.
For some reason, gentlemen, my beloved Carlton are favourites? Question mark?
Yeah, I don't know. I think Brisbane are the best away team gone around the last few years, but I don't think Carlton deserves to be favourites.
So Carlton, they have their biggest winning score in 12 years.
Yep.
Since 2011. Chaos. They smashed the Eagles. We've got Charlie Cernino.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Sort of.
Career high 9 majors. You love to see that. He's up and about. They're getting around him. And, of course, the Eagles flood and just stop him from kicking 10.
Yeah, that was...
Because they're a bunch of cowards.
Yeah, that was a cow move.
It's like, you're already being just completely humiliated. What's a
Let him have
10-goal
10, yeah.
10-goal snag going to do against
Reminds me
you?
of
Nothing.
when they did it against... the Hawks did it against Fev. That was horrible.
Brisbane, 115-67 over Freo. They've won 4 straight. This is the thing. Brisbane are really, really good. They're up and about. I feel like the way that their multifaceted attack is just clicking on all cylinders, isn't it? Between Chucky Cameron,
Bit of
Eric
consistency
Hipwood,
for once.
Danaher's actually been standing up and doing stuff. You've always got Gunston.
Yeah.
The weird part for me is that Brisbane's midfield actually averages the lowest amount of disposals in the comp.
Really?
Which seems weird, right? Like it's a fast-paced.
They do get like quick clearances.
Exactly. Quick clearances, they just move the ball that quickly.
Yeah.
There's I think they are also last in handballs. It's very strange.
Yeah,
but
right.
anyway, my picks for this, very straightforward. Sam Walsh, he's already gone 2 straight over 30-plus disposals. I'm going that.
Yep.
Adam Chera has hit a absolute purple patch. He's been awesome the last 3 weeks. I think you can go 25-plus for him. We also have I believe, Blake Acres. So he's averaging 26 this
Yeah,
season.
that surprised me. when you
25
said
plus
that,
as well.
He's been great.
Like, he was ostensibly brought in to be, the winger, but he's been very much on the end of a bunch of those sort of Cripps, Walsh, hardball gets in and
on the
under.
outside, yeah.
And he's on the outside and then booting it forward. So in terms of those guys, that's the midfield. This is at Marvel on Friday night. Carlton and Marvel, you just never know what to expect, though.
No.
This is my big problem with this game and why I'm going to go Brisbane. Chucky Cameron, 4+ goals. Hipwood, 2+ goals. I think the Lions... Look, we saw them struggle against the Bulldogs.
Yes.
At Marvel earlier this
when they
season.
lost there, yeah. That was a weird game.
The thing is, they'd won 5 straight there before that game.
Yeah.
The last game they'd actually lost was in 2019 to Carlton that I was at with my old man.
Lovely.
Just there going, what is happening?
We're winning?
We're winning?
That was when Carlton went not good.
And it was gnarly. But I think Chucky Cameron, that's that sort of small forward that Carlton don't have a giant amount of answers for. It's like, who are you going to put on him? Like Lewis Young? Like, no.
Yeah, he's too tall probably, yeah.
You got too many big sort of dudes. You got McGovern,
True.
you got Wiedering, you got Young, which is fine when you're trying to cover like Danaher and Hipwood and Gunston and Curry. But I think Chucky Cameron gets off the leash. And I think Hipwood has that moment of like, wait, I'm way better than like Lewis Young. Let's go. And just bags a couple as well. Lockie Neal, 30+, Dunkley, 25+. There you go to is always with Brisbane because why not? I think the weird thing is watching like those disposal counts for Brisbane come lower and lower and lower. Neal is like average, 30 on the nail, I think, last year?
Yep.
More like Lockie Nail, am I right? But he's at 27 this year. Like that's...
Yeah.
He's had a few big games.
Dunkley coming in has affected that as well.
Yeah,
Dunkley's only averaging 24. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But you got Ashcroft who's getting 20. You got so many of their players.
Ashcroft's at 23, but that's kind of the thing. They're all like...
They're all around that,
They share the ball so well. But either way, Neal, 30+.
Yep.
We've talked about Carlton's midfield. Defensively, they stink. So... should be plenty of disposals, I think, for the Lions in this. Lions 1-39 is the tip for me. And I had that written down. I'll just look at it on our very good website at codebet.com.au.
Perfect.
As written by one me.
Nice.
The 1-39 was much better value than just... Obviously, the line is basically a head-to-head bet.
Yeah,
it's
plus 1.5, so there's no point.
It's like whatever.
Yeah.
It'd be very stiff if they lose by 1.
The 1-39 was $2.58 yesterday via Bet. I think it's around $2.60 now with Ladbrokes. So I like that a lot more. I did have a multi on there as well. Go check that out. That's a lot of Acres and Durden. Durden, BT Dubs, he's kicked a goal in 6 straight games.
Wow.
Crushing it. At least one.
Good on him.
So the tip is easily Brisbane, I think, for me. They've won those games. They've won 3 straight against Carlton. They've won them by an average of 22, so they don't blow them out. Carlton stick around with teams so far this season. You saw it against
I don't think either of them can win by 40. Yeah.
So I think the 1-39 is easily the best pick. Stats guy.
Yeah, I got to go with you on that one. That 1-39. I really like Chucky Cameron. Just love him. I think he's going to tear it up. But that 1-39, $2.58. That's a great bet, I think. Yeah.
Nice one. Leo, who's the fantasy pick? Let's go!
You mentioned him, Adam Chera.
Ooh.
He's in career best form, I think. He's hit 130, 137 the last 2 weeks.
Jeez, that's not bad.
And he's paying $2.60 with Ladbrokes, did 100.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you're a little bit worried about that, though, he's $1.68 with Ladbrokes to get 90+ fantasy points.
Oh, that's awesome.
I still think that's good value.
$2.60 is great.
I think 100+ fantasy points
for
$2.60, that's very good value for someone of his caliber.
I think the interesting aspect of that is at Marvel, because you got Chera at Marvel. You take it back a couple of games. He was a little bit ineffective here and there, but I mean, he was still getting a lot of the ball in those Marvel games. So I think
I rate that a lot.
I like
100+.
Right, Richmond Gold Coast Saturday. Well, who do you pick, Leo?
Oh, Brisbane.
Nice.
Brisbane, nice.
You don't count, but that's all right.
You said Richmond Gold Coast.
He's going to swan in and pick 9. And like, Leo's never coming back on the show. Richmond West Coast. This is sad, isn't it?
Very sad. Very sad.
Alex wrote the preview for this and was just calling it. It's over. Richmond suck. They're not making finals. The dynasty's over. It's like,
it might be, but we don't know yet.
It's round 8. Let's just pump the brakes a little bit. They rattle off 7 straight wins. They might make the finals at some point. I'm just saying. They'll probably start here. $1.13 versus $7.50 for the Eagles. The Lions 39.5, which feels pretty low.
Oh, yeah, probably.
The question for me is the over-under is 167.5.
Yep.
I never actually gave an over-under tip for Brisbane Carlton though. So 170.
Under the roof.
Under the roof, I think they go over.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Brisbane's the 3rd best offense in the league. Carlton are about 8 or 9th at the moment. I think that still goes over.
Nice.
167 for Richmond Gold Coast.
West Coast.
West Coast. I keep saying Gold Coast.
You just love Gold Coast.
West Coast, I think, was it Richmond put like 158 on them last year and 128
Yes,
as well? Like
but they had a lot of their forwards in, I think.
They actually had
don't
Tom
have
Lynch.
Lynch,
So
Lynch,
that's the
big
thing.
out, yeah.
Jacob Hopper, Tim Taranto are the picks for Richmond for Alex for 25 plus, 35 plus for Taranto.
They've been
35
amazing,
feels like a lot, but it's West Coast.
Oh,
They
yeah.
suck.
He's been amazing.
You saw Carlton just tear them up last week. Plenty of disposals to go around. Off they went.
Yep.
That's $2.65 a Ladbrokes for Taranto, $1.95 a Hopper for the 25 plus. They've both been really good.
Yeah, well, the future looks all right with those two signing big contracts. I think they've been awesome for Richmond. The rest of their team hasn't been great.
They just can't kick
but
goals.
those two-
Everything else around.
Yeah,
It's everything else.
Yeah.
It's, the other trick, I think, the other part that Alex has in this is Dusty Martin. It's just like, yo, are you going to step up at any point this season?
Yeah.
He looks
He
cooked.
looks dangerous. He's missed a few. He's
This
one
has
goal
to be the
free.
game,
Yeah, it has
doesn't
to
it?
be.
It has to be
I
the
think
game.
it should be. Well, especially against, I was looking before, West Coast could be the first ever team that name all of their players on their list available. So you have to
That's
name
awesome.
26 players, 22 that play in 4 emergencies. They've only got 26 players out of their 44, I think, to pick from, or 40 to pick from. So yeah, which is unbelievable. So
Stats guys are going to jump on a plane.
yeah,
fly
I think
might get a nod.
Yeah,
it's like
I
finally.
might at least get on the emergency list. That'd be pretty cool.
That's great.
It's pretty bad for West Coast. So if they had a full strength team, the team's not too bad. It's just all those injuries.
Injuries have just done a number on them.
And their young guys just aren't ready yet. So
I love Oscar Allen. That's where I think Alex has gone as well here with 2+ goals. That's been one of my favourite bets literally all year because I think he's been 2 straight, 2 goals at least in every single game.
I think so,
he's played.
Yeah.
He's got 16, he's played 8. Something like that.
Perfect.
7. I don't know.
7.
Yeah, he plays 7, so he's got 14. No, I think he's got 16, so he's kicked at least 2.
Okay.
I'm good
at
least
maths. 2, yes.
I'm great at maths. 30 plus for Tim Kelly as well, the former Cat. He's been one of the lone bright spots. He's averaging 29.4.
Yeah, all their midfielders are out. Get on him.
There's not much else you can really do, so off you go, Tim Kelly. But the Dusty, 20 plus disposals, 3+ goals. You can probably multi that up if you want. Yeah. And I'd be all over that. He's got to, right? He's got to.
I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, as you said, he's had the game with the 1 goal for.
I reckon he'll get the goals. I don't know about the touches, but yeah, against West Coast, probably will get a lot of it.
The ball will be in their forward line a bit.
Yeah.
True.
Leo, what's the fantasy bet here?
I'm having a look at Jaden Short in this game.
Ooh.
He's come back from injury the past 2 weeks. He's picked up 117 and 123.
Ooh.
Last year, a couple of years ago, he was sort of playing a bit in the midfield, a bit forward. Dimmers settled him down at halfback, which is his natural position.
He did, yeah.
And he's got those big scores. So 100 plus fantasy points, $1.85 with Ladbrokes. I really like that one.
Yeah,
Short's been really good too.
Yeah,
right?
No, he's a gun.
So Richmond's obviously the pick, right?
Yeah, got to go Richmond.
Yeah.
I don't mind the 40 plus at $1.80 I saw before.
That's exactly where I'm going. $1.80 for the 40 plus at Bet 365.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be too afraid to go the 60 plus. Like they were demolished by Carlton, and Carlton had not been good.
No,
and
Richmond hadn't been good, but I think they surely
Richmond at the G. Off they go.
Agreed.
Nice one. Right. I think you've got a game here, Stats.
Yeah, I've got this one. We've got Geelong taking on Adelaide at the Cattery at GMHBA.
Should we actually ask Leo what his tip was for that last game?
Richmond?
Richmond.
Yeah, I think we got Richmond.
He still doesn't count, but I'm going to keep asking him. Right, next game.
Quick. What about, Geelong, $1.20, Adelaide, $4.80, and the line is minus 29.5.
This is at GMHBA?
Yeah, GMHBA in Geelong, which is their fortress. I was going to talk about it, but I might as well talk about it now. They're 87% of their games there have been wins since 2010, which is unbelievable.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And they've played, I think, like 140 games or something since then. And 87% of them are wins. So they're so hard to beat down there. The over-under in this one is 166.5 as well. Talking about that, the incredible record at GMHBA. The Crows haven't won there since 2003. So that's a lot.
2003, Stats Guy and Leo were both twinkles in their parents' eyes.
I was around, but not for very long. But yeah, they've been horrible. Last 12 meetings, they've been.
I hate that because I know what I was doing in 2003.
And
you're like, just way to make myself feel really old really quickly.
All right, I'm going to go. What am I going to go? Ollie Henry, I think he's going to fire up. He's going to cash in.
I'm enjoying this. I've just spent the last 2 days completely spinning Stats Guy out on shows like the 100th episode. This one. He's just like, oh, God.
Nonsense.
Jaymz is just off on that tangent. Anyway.
All right.
Please.
Thank you, sir. Ollie Henry, 2+ goals. He's made his transition to Geelong perfectly. A few people were a bit questioning about their big signing of him over the offseason from Collingwood. $2.20 to kick 2+ goals, I think is great, considering he's kicked 2+ goals in 6 of the 7 games this year. He's been ultra consistent. Even when they were losing those first 3 games, he got 2 goals in all of those games, even against Collingwood when they lost. I think Adelaide will concentrate on the top 2 in the Coleman. Obviously, Jeremy Cameron and Tom Hawkins, now second in the Coleman. I think they're going to concentrate on those, put all their eggs in those 2 guys' baskets. I don't know why I said it like that. And Ollie Henry will get 2+ goals for being open at $2.20.
I'm just more worried about a grown man being called Ollie.
Ollie. Well, his name's Oliver, but
Just go by
everyone
Oliver.
just goes by
Ollie. What are you?
Everyone calls him
4?
Ollie. You don't like it?
G'day, Ollie. How are you, bud? What's going on, you little tacker? Leo, what's your fantasy bet?
Tom Stewart, 100 plus fantasy points, $2.50 with Ladbrokes.
$2.50.
That's
I like
good.
this.
Yeah.
He's sort of been building into his form since coming back from that injury.
Yeah.
Again, 2 100 plus scores in the last 2 weeks. Thing I like about him as well is he's got that high kick to handball ratio. So for those who don't know,
Yes.
kick is 3 points in fantasy, handball's 2. So you want to really get those players who kick the ball. If he has, 25 touches, 20 of them will be kicks. So
Awesome.
Perfect.
I really like that bet.
Awesome.
Wicked. What about some Adelaide picks there?
Yeah, I
Scottsco?
didn't get to finish a few couple miles.
That's right. I broke it up.
I broke it up.
I'm bringing it back to you.
I
This
like
is just
it.
good hosting.
Great
I'm just
hosting.
saying.
Rory Sloan, who's been amazing for them for 15 years now.
Raw Dogs.
He's
15 years.
Yeah, I was looking it up before.
Jeez.
He's been amazing. He got injured, and I thought he could retire a couple of years ago, but he's back to his great form this season, averaging 22 touches, ultra consistent. I think he'll get a few more touches here because Cats will concentrate on Laird and Dawson, who have been unbelievable. I think Sloan will get a bit of space because of that. So 25 plus $3.50 when he's averaging 22.
Ooh.
Averages 23 in his career against the Cats, so doesn't mind playing them. And then just finish it off with the Cats 1-39. I think the Crows forward line and classy mids can keep them in this game, but Geelong at the category and just the form they're in, I'm just going to take them. But 1-39, a bit more value, $2.20.
I like that a lot. Because I think I even wrote down. So the line's 29.5 here, right?
Yeah, I could see Adelaide covering.
I could see Adelaide covering. It's
I'd
such
rather
a
take
hard.
Geelong.
It's a tough pick to make. I think.
Yeah.
With just the way that the Crows have sort of reeled in teams at times and just sort of stayed really close.
Yep.
Like they nearly gacked it up against Hawthorn down in Tassie.
Not
But
wrong.
was that 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
But at GMHBA, you still have to just go Geelong with the win, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to, yeah.
The 1-39 feels a bit better. Where
Yeah,
they don't blow them out.
The other thing is, I could see Geelong blowing them out, but the way Crows have been playing, they're a final side at the moment. So
Fogarty, Keys,
I
Dawson.
think they can hang in there for 3/4. That's what I'm thinking.
I like it. Good stuff. So I'm going Geelong. So
Geelong,
let's go.
yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'm going Geelong as well.
Wow, I'm glad that we're changing it up. Gold Coast.
There's a lot of one-sided games this week.
With
too.
West Coast. $3.10, Melbourne
Coasters.
$1.40. This is one of my games. The line is 16.5, which feels
It feels low, yeah.
dramatically short
Yeah.
in my books. The over-under is 166.5 here. The Demons have beaten the Gold Coast Suns in 10 straight
Ooh.
games. What are we doing here? The line is 8-16. This is just, I get that it's in Gold Coast. I understand that Melbourne travel somewhat wobbly. They lost to
not
Essendon
really.
in Adelaide.
Ah,
There's just a little bit of doubt there, but I just don't understand it myself. I think they're going to kill them. Bailey Fritsch, 4+ goals is $5.20 with Ladbrokes. I absolutely love this. Talking about dudes who are building, Bailey is just sort of having these moments every so often where he just threatens
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
disappears.
Well, every time he sees the goals, his eyes light up.
He's
so-
like, he had 4 last
gonna
week
hold.
against your beloved North Melbourne.
yeah, I thought it was going to be more than that.
He's only kicked 5 goals, 3 total in 6 games against the Suns.
That surprises me. Yeah,
It's a bit weird, right?
Yeah.
I think, though, this is like, I don't feel like it's any specific matchup problem with Gold Coast
Yeah.
because if you sort of go through their history over
No,
the
they've
last
got a few injuries.
5-6 years, it's like there's not a giant amount of consistency there.
Yep.
But he's kicked 2+ in 6 straight games outside of Victoria.
Probably.
I think he's building for a big bag. 4+ feels pretty doable for me for $5.20.
Absolutely.
Clayton Oliver, 35+.
He's been
touches.
unbelievable.
He's gone for 31+ in 4
I'm
straight.
surprised that's not lower.
$2.15 for 35+ against Gold Coast. I am
With no two.
I'm like,
with no
I'm
two,
over that like chicken on rice. Like that's awesome. Noah Anderson, 30+ for $2 as well for the Gold Coast Suns. Ben King, 2+ goals, feels pretty doable too.
Yeah, he always gets a couple.
He's basically if he's on the park, he should get 2. Simple as that. So if you want to throw that in a multi rather than a straight up bet, I feel good about that. But for me, why I was so worried about this line, like 16.5, like my pick was straight off the bat, Melbourne 40+.
40+.
And it's
I don't know.
$3.50. I think they can easily kick away from Gold Coast. We saw Gold Coast beat Richmond last week. That feels like one of those wins. It was like, We're winning.
Yeah. Well, they did beat
Oh my
Geelong.
God, we're winning.
Yeah. My
Let's
mate was
keep
there.
winning.
Yeah, I got
Oh
a
my
feeling.
God, we won. Yes. And then next week they get obliterated.
Maybe.
Like, that's the
not
vibe
a
I'm
bad
getting.
shout.
I think the Demons absolutely smashed them. So I'm going to go with the Demons 40 plus, $3.50.
Yep.
I love that one. Let's hear a fantasy pick.
Oh, that's not what you were going to say.
Yeah, it's hard to go past Clary, as you mentioned, in this game.
Yep.
Suns team, like no disrespect to Anderson and
Full
Rao,
disrespect.
but
I'm giving them a lot of disrespect.
there's no Took Miller there. So
yeah, good call.
I think 120 plus fantasy points for $2 is very good value.
Yep.
He averages 121 this season.
Oh,
So yeah, he can beat his average against
think-
Gold Coast.
Yeah,
Because there was mention like
absolutely
last week. So Matt Roll, he can play a bit of a defensive role. It's like you can't have him playing a
No,
defensive
they need
role
him to
without
play
Took
attacking.
anymore.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly right.
Yeah.
it's chaos. So I think Clary goes off in between. Like that midfield is just so tough. I didn't even mention Cozzy Pickett. Like,
Yeah,
just
he's
gets
been
loose.
awesome, yeah.
He's been keep booting goals left, right, and centre. It's been awesome. So
Just
between
signed a new
him,
contract.
Petrarca, Fritsch, Clary,
Yeah.
they're awesome.
Yeah.
I love this Melbourne team this week. I'll be all over that one.
Nice.
So the tip is easily me, Melbourne.
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 Oh God,
Yeah, I know. We need to. There's a lot of
I'm
one-side
picking
games.
Hawthorn next game.
I was going to do it.
I'm definitely not.
All right, Freo Hawthorn. Is this one of yours?
Yeah,
Stats
it is
guy?
one, Warren.
All right.
So Freo $1.38, Hawthorn $3.25. Both teams have been horrible this season. They're both 14th and 18th, which is pretty bad. But the line, it's 16.5, but you can find a plus 18.5. You said for Hawthorn.
You know how you can find that?
On CODEBet.com.au.
Well done, Stats guy.
Absolutely. Odds comparison and analysis on that website. The over-under is 166.5, which I think is going to go well under.
Yeah, for sure.
Hawks are the lowest scoring team in the competition. Freo are without goal kickers Taberner and Michael Frederick. And they've looked horrible, especially Freo going forward. Well, Hawks obviously are the lowest scoring team, but Freo I thought were going to be a lot better this season. Have dropped from 6th on the ladder last year to 14th, which is still can't believe. But Freo, they've won the last 4 meetings. Hawks, haven't been competitive in these games. And I just forgot what I was going to say. There we go. Jaff, I was just talking to Weaves.
Well, the Hawks have been competitive in a couple of these games.
They've been
right?
The
competitive.
last 3 games.
That's why I was
going.
going to lean the Hawks at the line. But as soon as I saw this news where Jaff and Bruce, who are two of your Leo goes for the Hawks, so Hawthorn's better players are out. Apparently
Well
week.
explained.
Yeah.
He doesn't own Hawthorn.
No, he does.
He's a supporter.
Not
He's
yet.
both- Not yet. But Jaff and Bruce, I think, are massive outs for the Hawks. They've been some of their two best players the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I cannot, with any confidence, back anything to do with Hawthorn. I'm just going to go Freo 1-39. They're not good enough to blow out a team just because they can't score big enough. So $2.10 for Freo 1-39. Then I'll just go Andy Brayshaw. He hasn't been at his best disposal-wise, but he's actually kicked a few more goals. Kicked 2 goals last game, has 4 this season, so I just don't mind him anytime goal.
Loves
for
playing
$2.
Hawthorn too.
He loves playing Hawthorn. I did see that. So $2.40 for Andy Brayshaw to kick a goal, especially when they're losing a few forwards. He'll push forward, I think, a bit more in this one, especially against Hawks, and kick a goal. So that's my one.
Fantasy.
Fantasy, yeah.
One of my favourite players from Hawthorn, Will Day.
Oh, I'm going to talk about him as well.
year.
Yeah, okay.
He's paying $2.80 with Ladbrokes for 100 plus fantasy points.
Ooh.
Sort of relishing that new midfield role that Sammy's got him in.
Yep.
And he's been averaging 103 fantasy this season. So just
against Freo have been pretty bad.
To hit his average for $2.80.
That's really good.
That's
very good
awesome.
value.
Yeah. I was going to talk about Will Day as well. Just that 25 plus, I think, at $1.85. He's averaging, I think, 23. He's averaging 26 this year, which I was surprised about. And he's gone 22 and 25. Oh my God, I'm off today. But yeah, 3 of his 5 games he's gone over 25 this
Stats
season.
guy's overworked. He's done one show today and he's just like, pack her up, boys, I'm done.
He's gone over 25 3 of his 5 games this year. I think that 25 plus $1.85 is really good value.
How has nobody mentioned Caleb Sarong?
All
All he does is get the pill.
Can I say one thing on that? I was going to. He's $1.73 to get 35. So I was like, that's not enough value.
Yeah, it's not great
I'd
value.
also watch, I reckon Connor Nash might play
Connor
a role
Nash?
on him.
Yeah, yeah.
right.
Sarong will still get plenty of the ball, but
Maybe not 35.
maybe not 35.
All right, cool.
Maybe not 35.
Maybe
Watch him get
32.
40. Watch him get
40, yeah.
Look, the pick, without Bruce, I'm a little bit
And
worried
Jaffa,
about picking Hawthorn now.
Yeah.
And Jath as well. Like
He's good,
2 big outs. Yeah,
But you could go line because Freo have been pretty bad.
I might take that Hawthorn line, but I'll still take Freo to win it. So
I'm going Freo. What are
I'm
you
tipping Freo, but I'm expecting a very close game.
doing? Okay.
nice one.
Nice.
Giants Western Bulldogs.
We've both been off. in this one.
$2.50 for the Giants, $1.58 for the Dogs. The line is 9.5. Gerald's beloved Western Bulldogs. The over-under
He'll
is
be in the cheer squad there.
169, nice, and a half. Tom Green absolutely smashed it last week again. He's back, 31 against the Swans. Crazy year. 10 of those were contested. He was right in amongst that game. It was
13
awesome
tackles.
to see.
13
Unreal.
tackles, wow.
35 plus disposals in this game is $2.35. I'm not convinced about that one. This is an Alex game.
I was going to say, why you ran now then?
The $2.35 doesn't quite feel like he's gotten a lot of the pill this season.
Yeah, I don't think he's gone over 35.
But the Dogs are like a pretty tough defensive midfieldy kind of team.
Good tackling
right? So
team, yeah.
I don't know about that one so much. But Jesse Hogan, 3+ goals. I don't mind that. $3.15.
Yeah, if he can kick straight.
With Ladbrokes, if he can just, I don't know, not miss from 25 metres out, directly in front, you'd be laughing. Flip side, Jack McRae, 35+ disposals. I like that Alex has gone very conservative in this game. 35 plus is $3.15.
Nothing is lower than 3 goals or 35.
He's just going nuts. Jack McRae with an anytime goal as well, $3.25. That, I like that a bit, actually. Yeah. The tricky part for this in this game for me was like the Dogs travelling to GWS. This is in Canberra.
Oh, yeah. I didn't
know game. So it sort of takes away a little bit of the GWS home field advantage.
Yeah.
It's not really much of a
Well, there's a bit of a rivalry here from the finals a few years ago.
Exactly.
They hate each other, these teams.
So this would be fun. I think it's a good game in Canberra. Yep. And that's probably why my initial, like if this had been at GWS, at Giants Stadium, all caps, I would have been leaning much more Giantsy.
Yeah.
But in Canberra, on a more neutral field where like the Giants just sort of stink, don't they, in Canberra?
Yeah, they are. I'm not sure about their record, but
it's like
I'm pretty
that
sure we
weird,
talked about it last
record.
week.
We've mentioned it before.
It's not great.
I've just sort of, swung way back towards the Dogs. So
fair enough.
Bit of a weird one. Don't like it. Norton, says Alex, 3+ goals as well, $2.35.
Don't mind that.
Pretty good.
Their other forwards haven't really fired up. So
no Sam Taylor either.
No Sam Taylor. Yeah, well, actually, Alex was talking about that.
That's a really good point.
Yes,
no Sam Taylor.
Fullback,
Yeah, I think the Dogs are the very clear pick here.
Yeah.
In terms of betting stuff, like the over-under, I'd be going the under the 169 just because...
That seems pretty high. For
the Giants and for a Dogs team that we've seen sometimes like struggle to really get much going.
Yeah.
I'm not all about it. So I think the play for me is the Dogs, probably at the line to boost that up a bit from $1.58.
9.5, yeah.
9.5. I think they can win it by about, I don't know, around 20 odd.
Yep.
Yeah.
Feels about right. If this one just screams like, I don't know, 78 to 60, like something like that.
Yeah. Agreed.
Fantasy
bet. I think I'm going to join Alex in the Tom Green hype train.
Ooh, nice.
110 plus fantasy points for $2.30 with Ladbrokes.
That's good,
He averages 112 fantasy this season, and last week, as you touched on, he absolutely
better value
dominated.
than his 35 disposals.
Yeah, it is. I'd get on that over the 35, yeah.
He absolutely dominated last week. Like I said, scored 136 fantasy from that. As you said, the Dogs do have those sort of defensive mids that can stop him, but I just think he's a young star on the rise. He's
a gun, yeah.
His trajectory is up, so I think that's a good bet.
Lovely.
Nice one. I think you've got a note there as well, Stats Guy.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about Jason Johannesson, JJ off the half-back line. The Bulldogs have finally moved him back to half-back. He was amazing. He was a Norm Smith off half-back. I don't know. I don't understand
the Bulldogs or Bevo?
Yeah, I don't know. Bevo is like, you can play forward and get dropped every 2 weeks. I don't know why. Now he's back to halfback. Since he's gone back.
You know how you won that Norm Smith?
Yeah, since then they haven't played him there.
How'd you do that? It's come off the halfback. Well, we better not do that.
Yeah, well, they haven't really done it since they won the flag. It was a bit weird. But since he's come off halfback, he's got 21 touches, 28, 22 and 24.
Jeez, not bad.
So I just don't mind that 25 plus. He loves playing against the Giants. He did well in the finals against them a few years ago, and I just think he'll fire it for this one. $3.10 for someone that's averaging around that 23, 24 the last 5 weeks. Yeah. He's really good for 25 plus.
Nice one. We haven't mentioned Bont as well.
Yeah, he always goes big.
He's just like that sort of, like, I feel like
25 and a goal.
Yeah, somewhere like in Canberra, it's 25 and a goal 100% of the time, right?
Well, that's what he averages pretty much. So.
Yeah, love it. All right, next one. What do we got? Port versus Essendon on Sunday.
It's a good game, yeah.
One of my games, and I've just sort of sat there staring at this going, nah.
Not feeling it?
Just nah.
It's a hard one to pick.
It is so tough to pick. I've ended up landing with Essendon.
Ooh.
But Port are $1.49 favourites to Essendon $2.70. The line's 12.5 in favour of Port. You can get Essendon at 13.5, which I actually really like.
Yep.
The over-under is 174.5. This is at the Adelaide Oval. Essendon are 6-6 there.
That's pretty good.
Obviously, against Adelaide and Port.
Yep. And Melbourne.
Oh, yeah. True.
They get the big win. Parrish is obviously a big gun in the midfield for them, 31 plus in his last 8 as an underdog. outside of Melbourne.
That's a
Is that on
one.
Sunday
It's like one of those
afternoons?
that just keeps going. And you're like, he is playing outside of Melbourne.
And they are
He
the
is an underdog.
Load up.
Checks out. Bang, off we go. That's only $1.58 though. It's just like Parish has gotten so much of the ball this season. It's chaos. It wouldn't surprise me. 30 plus, I put that in there because I feel like 35 against Port, they've got a lot of class in their midfield. They've been really, really good.
Yep.
Parish, doesn't really matter sort of who he plays against. He always gets the ball, but I would stick at the 30 plus. Travis Boak was awesome the last couple of weeks. It's like, where did this, what?
Yeah, he was a bit...
Wasn't even in the team to start the year.
Exactly.
Amazing. 20 plus touches. I don't think $1.30. That's incredible. What are we doing here?
Can we get some value here?
The best part is he's got 20 plus in 13 games against Essendon. 13 straight.
Wow.
That's
He likes to play
amazing.
against the Bulls.
Not bad. Andy McGrath is like the sort of other dude forgotten about in that Essendon midfield. You've obviously got
he's so
Zerrett,
good.
you've got Shield,
Setterfield.
Setterfield.
Yeah.
God, I hate Setterfield.
He's finally become like pretty
You just
good.
said that to set me off, Leo. 20 plus for Andy McGrath is $1.32. Again, just
You could
not
multi all these and be all right.
that's kind of where I was ending up leaning because a lot of these were the bits that I'm building in the multi for the site. And it's just like, it's like they've cottoned on to the disposal numbers of Essendon, which is right up there. They're one of the, what are they? The third highest score, fourth highest scoring team at the moment. 97 points a game. They just come down after, the games against Collingwood, Geelong, 2 losses. Before that, they were absolutely flying. 86 points a game for Port. I'm leaning Essendon in this one. I just think they can eke out the win. I'm going to go Essendon the 1-39. And I don't know, explain to me, there's Port dudes, I feel like Boak I mentioned, but Rosie, Butters, Wines.
Horn Francis, even though I don't want to talk about it, he's been unbelievable the last couple of weeks, and I think he's going to drag him over the line.
It's set up for such a good midfield battle, right?
Yeah,
I love
it
this
is a good
game.
midfield battle, yeah.
It's going to be an awesome, awesome one. I'm going to go with Essendon 1-39, I think. So, you got any thoughts on this one, Stats Guy?
I'm just going to go with Port. I think they're, midfield. I think Jason Horn Francis, a few of those guys that weren't sure they were going to be stars this year are starting to step up. And I just like Port, especially at home. Their feral fans are going to go crazy. So it's
Koshy.
It's hard. Koshy will be out there waving his
Cash cow.
I'm just a weird dad and what's going cash cow?
Get him down there. No, I just think Port at home. I can't trust Essendon. Maybe it's just me not liking Essendon, but I'll go Port.
All right. The 1-39 is $3.05, that's where the value is all of a
That's
sudden.
pretty good, yeah.
What about the fantasy there,
Fantasy.
Leo?
I'm looking a bit different here. I'm looking at Nick Martin for
Ooh,
Essendon.
nice one.
I like him,
Sort of patrolling the wings. Last time,
Doesn't mind a snag.
he loves a goal, hits a scoreboard. Last time playing Port in Adelaide last year, scored 113 fantasy.
That's a good
I also just like his matchup. Port have strong inside mids and they like to use the ball through the corridor.
Yep.
I think Essendon, they love to use the outside, use the wings to move the football. And I think that's an area Port aren't too strong in. So I really like his matchup there.
Nice.
And that's paying $1.65 with Ladbrokes for 70 plus.
Yeah, 70. That's good. So 70 plus because he can easily get that.
He also averages 76 fantasy this year.
Nice.
So.
I've got a bit of time for Nick Martin. Pops up when you least expect it to.
He's a good player.
Oh, there he is. And he's like slotting one from 40 out. Just off you go. So I think my pick's going to be Essendon here with a 1-39. It's the best value for me. I'm going to take Essendon.
I'm just going to go Port.
Yeah, I'm with Stats Guy. I'm going Port.
Yes.
You cowards. At least I'm actually stepped up and chosen something different.
Oh, we did in the end.
I think we might see this. Maybe we'll see this one again. Collingwood, Sydney. Another one for Alex because he is a Sydney Swans supporter.
Yep.
The Pies are $1.42. Swans $2.90. 15.5 is the line, which is a tricky one, I think.
Seems about right, I reckon.
But I don't know. I feel like it's a bit in favour of Sydney there, considering that Collingwood are playing all these very tight games.
Sydney have been pretty bad though.
And Sydney have also stunk up the joints.
Yeah.
The over-under, 170.5. I don't know, Dacos, apparently, according to Alex's notes, struggled in both games last year. He was tagged heavily.
He did.
He was a rookie. Let's all settle down.
But he didn't get
This year he's turned into like the amalgamation of Gary Ablett Sr., Lee Matthews,
Peter Dacos.
Matthew Richardson, and his dad. And Cuda. Why not? Just off he goes.
This was thinking, who's good for a cut?
Oh, watch out. Clark's going to bath him, he says. At 23 and a goal in the prelim, 20 and a goal in round 22. Alex is picking the under for his disposals. I'm actually not opposed to that.
Ryan Clark is a good tagger.
you are going to see just like one of these games where Dacos, like it does stick and they just can't get away. This might be the time. He's also got Ginnivan 2+ goals, Mijacek 2+ goals. Mijacek,
yeah.
$2.02 for Ginnivan, $1.68
like that,
for Mijacek. They haven't really done a giant amount this year. Like there's been a weird sort of
pretty good.
egalitarian approach, I think, more for the Pies this year going forward. Like Degoe's been there.
Yeah.
He's been awesome.
Ash Johnston. They've got a really good forward line, yeah.
They've just been really, really, really good.
Yeah.
So, look, multiples for Ginnivan and Mijacek. I don't know about that one. This is
I like those. I like those.
Logan McDonald, 3+, he reckons.
He's been good this year. He's been probably the best forward.
It's Darcy Ball.
Yeah. Just whatever Alex.
Yeah.
Chundley Warner, 30+ disposals. One of our favourites, obviously.
True. We love Chundley Warner.
He has been good. $3.60 for 30+. But isn't there like a weird stat where Chundley doesn't really go for 30+?
Yeah. I don't think he's had the greatest start to the season, but he did dominate the G last year on final day. He was the only one. So
true.
Laddams, 15+ disposals as
I don't
well.
mind that. He's actually pretty good agile
like
for a ruckman. Yeah.
I like that as well because there's just no big dudes in Collingwood. So he's also really just leaned on the Heen machine.
Oh, you love the Heen machine.
I love the Heen machine. I've been disappointed by the Heen machine because he's
done this his whole career. He's going to kick 6 one week and do nothing the next.
First goal, $13. That's a pretty good one.
That's good, yeah.
20+ disposals, $3.35. Heen's got to get a lot of the ball for that to happen. I think I'm still going to be picking Collingwood in this game.
Yep.
I don't feel good about it though. Because
I do.
It feels like Sydney, the vibe is at the moment just a pretty banged up team that don't have much of a sort of sense of coherency when you watch them. Like that.
They should never lose to GWS. I know GWS haven't been too bad, but
absolute schmozzle down the stretch.
It was.
And it came after that was the get right game after you got belted by Geelong.
Yep.
And to then just completely lose your minds in the last quarter was just amazing to me. But this is the sort of team that sort of bounces back, puts up a pretty big fight. And I think I'll probably go Collingwood, but I'll take Sydney at the line. We've seen Collingwood play that many close games.
True.
Sydney lose by a point last week. I think they bounced back. The Swans, their record of the G, I think we're okay with it, aren't they?
Other than the grand final, yeah.
Grand final, bit of a tough one. What's your fantasy look here, Leo?
I'm having a look at Jordan DeGoey. 100+ fantasy points is $2.50. 3 of his last 4 MCG games, he's hit 99 or more.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
For me, this just screams out a game where he has 25 and kicks 2, personally. Yeah. I just really like him at those odds. But if you're a little bit worried because of his inconsistency throughout this season so far, 90+ fantasy points is still $1.62 with Ladbrokes.
That's nice, yeah.
I'm really liking to go in this game.
Yeah, and Swans lately just haven't been able to stop the opposition stars. Like Toby Green killed it last week. The week before, all the Geelong's big names, like Danger, absolutely stepped up. So I really like to go down a big one.
It's kind of the weird part about Sydney, isn't it?
They just haven't been good defensively. I don't know. The best players on the opposition at the moment.
It's been very weird. So what's your pick here, Stats Guy?
I'm just going to go Pies at the line. I know they like to play a lot of close games, but at the G, I know Sydney have a decent record, but Sydney haven't impressed me at all last couple of weeks. They've looked horrible. I think they need to change a lot of things, so I'm just going to take Collingwood at the -15.5.
The MCG, 18-21 in the last 5 seasons of the MCG.
That's probably
5-5.
That's not too bad, yeah.
But interesting.
I'm going to take Pies. I think they're too good.
I think I'll take the Pies as well. Leo?
Yeah, Pies.
I'll take the Swans line though. Finally.
I'm definitely rotating.
The barn burner to bring us home at the end of the round.
I'll be there at 4:40.
North versus St Kilda.
As long as we just score 50 points or something, I'll be happy this week. We were horrible last week. North Melbourne, $6.50. St Kilda, $1.13. I thought we were going to be more than $6.50. Get around us. 37.5.
It's the small wins, isn't
it? Small wins. Hopefully we win the toss. I'll be happy with that. 37.5 is the line. In that one, I'm surprised it's pretty written.
Hopefully we win the toss.
I have to make it for the toss.
That's great.
Over-under is 164.5. All right. One positive we can bet on North is just lock in Zeeble for 25+. We always talk about Jack Zeeble. I know that Aaron Hall and Sheezel have been racking up touches in our backline, but Zeeble still takes our kick-ins for North. He's averaging 24 disposals, and just every time we switch it or kick it out of the back line. It somehow ends up in his hands. So he gets an easy 25 touches every second week. So $1.90 for him to get that is really good value in Bet365. And then a major reason for Saints just being up there in the top 4 is Mitch Owens.
Brownlow.
Yeah, Michito Owens. I found out his real name is. He's been unbelievable. He's averaging 16 touches and 1.8 goals this season. So I don't mind him just to get 2+ goals because you're just above his average, and 15 touches, which is just under his average. He's going to dominate us. We don't have a good matchup. North doesn't have a good matchup for him. So you get that 2+ goals and 15+ touches. Is $2.68 when you combine them. So I really like that. And then, last 2 times North have played Saints, we have got beaten by an average of 37 points. Doesn't help. And the line is exactly that 37.5. So maybe that's why they've done that line. But I think, 40+ is even pretty good. But that minus 37.5.
So
screams like it's going to happen easy, I reckon. Because
if Alex is writing the article about this, we're like, is Alistair Clarkson in trouble? The shine's off.
Definitely not.
Maybe.
Definitely not. Yeah, a lot of our more experienced players have been horrible for North. So can't back them at all. Then I just don't mind the under. Combin's out. We saw a bad injury for him last week. Was horrible.
Yeah.
Larky looks just really a bit injured, I think. Looks out of form.
Since the Carlton game.
Yeah, since the Carlton game. Against the better defenders, he hasn't been good. So that under 164.5, I don't think we can put up a big enough score. Saints will put up a decent score, like 90, 100, but I don't even see us getting over 55, 60 at the moment. So,
Yeah.
That's I didn't really want to talk that bad about North, but
what's that over there? The wheels.
Yes.
They're off.
Yeah, they've been off for a while.
Just the Clarko train is just off the rails.
Not wrong.
The fantasy pick,
Fantasy
Leo.
pick, going somewhere different again, looking at a young Saints player in Nasiah Wanganeen-Milera.
Hey,
he's been good. Yeah.
He averages 79 fantasy this year. And for 70+ fantasy points, he's $1.78 with Ladbrokes. I just really love this matchup against North Melbourne. Saints love to possess the ball, build up play, and I think North really struggle to put any sort of pressure on. And the
just
thing
did
with
the booted.
the thing with
That's true.
Your team sucks. You bagged for Hawthorn.
I literally just bagged up.
These guys are going to punch on. I love this.
Yeah, it's battled for the spoon over here. But
As we said in the NRL show, we're going to put a fisheye cam on both their heads and then just let them go. Let them rip. It's going to be amazing. Go listen to the NRL show. That was a fun one.
That was fun, yeah.
Anyway,
I think
Stats guy getting angry, ripping his shirt off.
That always happens.
NRL
I do call me the Hulk sometimes, yeah.
Absolutely hulks out.
I think with Wanganeen-Milera, he's, again, another one who kicks the ball a lot. He's a great kicker of football. If he has 20 touches, I reckon 80% of them will be kicks. So Saints will look to get the ball in his hands a bit. And I think, he's one that can really just take advantage of that matchup that he's got. So, I like that bet.
Nice one. What was the dollar total?
$1.78 with Ladbrokes.
Yeah, that's good. 70 plus.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, very nice.
All right, the tips for this one.
Saints. I think it's all pretty self-explanatory. I don't know when I'm going to
go North.
I was looking through the fixture.
Absolute boil over of epic proportions at Marvel.
Sure.
It would be amazing. Like, we've seen North pull wild surprises on us before.
Have we? Not many times.
We saw them last year beat Essendon, didn't we?
Richmond. Yeah.
One of them.
That was a bit random.
One of the hated teams. I'm very tempted to take North. Just
I don't know
to
why.
come absolutely flying out of nowhere. This Saints thing, it's been incredible.
It's what they did last year.
But you also have those moments that you watch them and go, but where is the quality? The problem is North stinks, so I'm going to go the Saints.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you talking about?
Saints as well.
Yeah, you got to go Saints.
Digging it. So I think out of all the games, we had one different pick. Great job, gentlemen. I'm glad everyone's tuning in to have a listen to our informed opinions.
Heavy favourites as well.
This is a weird week because it is...
Every game's
if you look at those prices, right, there's not a giant amount of...
No.
Well, I don't know. It's literally Brisbane Carlton, and I think that's kind
all
of the rest of it's just
it's
a pretty clear favourite.
Yeah.
There is those weird ones, if you look at Port Essendon and Brisbane Carlton, the clear standouts.
Yep.
Giants Dogs is still a very tough pick.
Collingwood Sydney.
And then you think about it, Canberra, you're like, ugh. And Collingwood Sydney is the other one. Freo Hawthorn, best of luck to anybody who actually wants to watch that. Best bets for the week, though. Here we go, Harry.
I'm sick of this.
Harry McFive. What about Charlie Cernino again, though?
Yeah, you could go that.
You go for 10.
I'd back.
Come on, Charlie.
I'd back Charlie for 10 more than Harry for 5 of them.
No, so Harry actually kicked, I think it was 4 or 5. It might have actually been 5.
Yep.
In the win against the Lions in 2019, the game that I was at. That was at Marvel. It was the last time that Brisbane actually lost a game at Marvel before losing to Bulldogs.
So he's going to do it again
this year. Harry McFive, like, just if you don't banana it into the
going
roof,
up in odds every
it
week.
might go through the actual goals. But I think what you'll see is there's going to be like an absolute crap ton of attention paid to Kernino, and Harry McFive might just sneak loose for at least a couple. So I looked at those prices for like the 3, the 4. I think in the game preview article, I think I landed on 4.
Yep.
And you're like, that actually feels kind of fair if Kerno's like just taking a little bit more of the attention. Mackay just sneaks 4.
Takes a couple, yeah.
5 though. $14. Let's go. We're jumping on board.
The start of the season was $6.
We're going to Bali.
Oh, that's funny.
So I'm going to go Harry McFive. I don't mind that a lot. To be honest, the rest of it though, I really do like the value on Essendon. That team is just well, 2 losses, but they've looked, take out the first quarter against Geelong, pretty good after that. Yeah. And that Anzac Day clash, look, you're playing on a short week, you get that on the big jobs. Yep. And then you play Geelong on a short week, tough.
True.
Now you travel to Port, you can see the 3. I'm talking myself out of that. So I'm going to stick with Harry McFive. Stats guy.
Yeah, my best bets, I like Rory Sloan 25 plus at that $3.50. I think he's going to have a big game. And then Richmond, I think it was 4. I wrote 40 plus.
40 plus.
But the line was 39.5.
39.5.
So $1.90 against West Coast, who don't have half their team to pick from. There's going to be some locals they're going to play in that game apparently. So yeah, I'm going them.
Nice one. And what about you there, Leo? What's your favourite of your fantasy picks?
My favourite would be Adam Chera tomorrow night, 100 plus.
Go big.
For $2.60. I think he's just in career best form. Attention goes to Cripps, won't go to him.
True.
So,
Cripps, Walsh, Chera is like the one who just benefits so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
He and Akers definitely. Good.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Did it all.
That was handy. Didn't even need Alex. You just put him out of a job there, Leo. Good job. All right, CODE Bet Daily weekly AFL show is done for another week.
That was a big one.
Daily. This is actually also going to double as our daily show, I think, today, so it's all good.
Perfect.
We will be back on deck with a daily show, though, tomorrow. Stats Guy and I. So get right around the show. Subscribe, like, review, star it, if you would. Chuck us a follow. Make Leo earn his keep. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Facey, YouTube, IG, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch. Follow us. Make him do stuff. He loves it. He loves replying to comments from weird boomers. But either way, I think that's kind of it, isn't it?
It is.
Nice one. Thanks, Stats Guy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leo, the super duper guest star.
Absolutely. Thank you, Leo.
Putting Alex out of a job. And thanks, as always, to Gerald for producing. Does a fantastic job on the AFL show and all the shows, because we also have the EPL show, the NRL show, the Daily Show. It's all coming out the wazoo.
Everything.
You love to see it. But what do we say, Stats Guy?
Gamble responsibly.
All right, may all your picks come in. Footy's back and happy punting. CODE Bet Daily Weekly out.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.